Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. This is Patrick Mahomes. He's the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. His team just lost the Super Bowl to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Patrick Mahomes is biracial. Here is a picture of his parents. A white mother, a black father. His father was a professional baseball player, and according to him, he was raised in an all white suburb of some town in Texas. So clearly, nobody thought that it was important for him to be connected to the black American community. Now, what I'm saying is, he seems like a nice guy, and his brother Jackson is just a hoot. But what I want to know is, has anybody ever heard this young man say he was black? And the reason I'm saying that is because every time he ends up in the Super Bowl, and this is his third or fourth showing, black men will be running around talking like, a black quarterback in the Super Bowl. Well, has anybody ever heard him say he was black? Now, I believe that in today's modern age, that biracials should be able to identify how they want to. Now we know in the past, during the slavery days, all the way up to the civil rights movement, we know that the one drop rule was the deciding factor as to whether or not you were black. If you had one drop of black blood and nobody knows how, they were going to measure that one drop. But if you had any noticeable African ancestry, you were black. That's how it was. Now, for the first few hundred years that we've been in America, biracials were the product of black women and white men. And during the slavery days, those women didn't have any control over their bodies, and their children had the same status as their mothers, enslaved individuals. So calling Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass and those people that were born during slavery biracial is really a moot point. It really is, because they didn't even know who their fathers were. So they were considered black because their mothers were black. Those white men didn't take any ownership over those children. They were just children of the plantation. So if they were mixed, they were black. Their mothers were black, they were black. But in this modern age, black people are choosing to have children with white people. And these children sometimes have no connection to blackness because very often the father leaves, and in this case, the parents divorced, and so the mother is left to raise the child, and she has the greatest influence. Now, in his case, Patrick Mahomes is married to a white woman, and their children are white, as you can see here. So it is possible that he does not want to be identified as black. And I'm saying I believe he should have that choice. There are biracials who say they are black identified biracial. They have chosen to identify as black. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's the best way to do it. If they have a black parent and they decide that they can fit into the black American culture better than they can in the white American culture, then I don't have a problem with them calling themselves black, although some people say you're not black. But I think that if they say they are black identified biracial, and they want and that's how they feel the most comfortable, I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with black people trying to force this on biracial children. If you are biracial and you marry a white person and you have children with that person and those children look white, why are black people trying to drag you into the black race against your will? And I believe that they should give this young man some freedom and some grace to be who he wants to be. He just might want to be a biracial. So that's how come I'm asking, has anybody ever heard him say he was black? Because if he doesn't say he's black, then I don't think it's right for other people to be running around here calling him black, especially when he has non black children. Now let's cut to the chase. We know that there is a stigma attached to being black all over the world, but definitely in America. Now, I am proud of the way we black Americans handle our blackness. We know that it is a problem in America, but most of us stand on our black business. We are unapologetically black, but there are those who are not, and they still see it as being a stigma. And I'm saying, if you don't want to be black, I think you ought to have the freedom to go out there and be white or mixed or biracial or whatever you want to be. But I do wish that these black men, and it's mostly black men, although I'm sure some black women doing it too. But I do wish they would stop doing that with Patrick Mahomes and other biracial men and women who are married to people of different races and whose children don't necessarily look black or identify as black. People should be given the freedom to identify as they wish when they are of mixed ethnicities. Now, that's how I feel about it. Y'all let me know how you feel about this. I need him to say he's black, or I need to hear somebody say that they've heard him say he was black, because it's not fair if you're trying to shove that down his throat when he has a white mother and a white wife and some white children. All right, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up and have a good evening.